In this video, we're looking at ECAA 2020, Section 1, Question 23. So this question gives us a regular octagon that has the area of 32 root 2 centimetres squared, and we are told to find the length PT, so this line across our octagon. So where is going to be our starting point with this question? Well, the only information we have is the area, so let's try and work out an expression for the area to give us some numerical values for our sides. So how do we find the area of a regular octagon? Well, I don't think we're expected to know the actual formula, so let's split it up into things we can work out. So we can split our octagon like this. We have two trapeziums on either side with a rectangle in the middle. And so our area would be the area of a trapezium times 2 plus the area of our rectangle in the middle. And these are some things that we can easily work out. So to do this, we're going to need to know some different sides. So let's start with saying one of our side lengths here. Let's label that A, and we know that all of these are going to be length A because it's a regular octagon, they're all going to be the same. Now we're also going to need to know the bits in between, so things like this and things like this, which I'm going to label X, and these are both going to be the same. And then we can work them out in terms of each other, so A in terms of X. And for this we know we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So A squared is going to equal X squared plus X squared, or 2X squared. So our A is going to equal X root 2. So with this, we can start working out our areas of our shapes here. So if we start with our trapezium, what is the expression for the area of a trapezium? So that is half A plus B times H, with our A and B being our two parallel sides and our H being our height. So using our sides here, we can work that out. So we know that A is going to be A here, or X root 2 as we established. Our B is going to be this length down here. So what's that going to calculate to? Well, if we draw a line here, we know that we've got our X there, and we're going to have the same on the bottom, and A along here, which is X root 2. So that's our whole side B there. And our H is just our X there. So we can rewrite this as half times X root 2 plus X root 2 plus 2X all times X. We can simplify that down, and then there we go, that's our answer. And what I've done here is I've got rid of that half sign because we know we're going to need two of our trapeziums. So for both of our trapeziums, that's our final area, 2x squared root 2 plus 2x squared. So now let's move on to our rectangle. What is the area of our rectangle going to be? Well, we need the side length here, which is going to be A, or X root 2, and our length here, which we've already worked out with these values. So it's going to be X root 2 times 2x plus X root 2, or 2x squared root 2 plus 2x squared. So now we've got our two answers, we can just add them together to find an expression for our area. So this here is a rewritten expression for our area, so that equals 32 root 2, and now we can get on solving this for x. So our first step is going to be to divide through by 2, and that gives us 16 root 2 equals 2x squared root 2 plus 2x squared, and we can divide through by 2 again to get 8 root 2 equals x squared root 2 plus x squared. We then want to try and find x by itself, so we can take out our x squared on this side, like this, and then we can divide through by root 2 plus 1 to give us this fraction here. Now, we don't want this surd on the bottom, we need to try and get rid of that, so how can we do this? Well, we just have to times it by this here, negative root 2 plus 1, and that will give us 8 root 2 minus 16 over 1 minus 2. That equals x squared, or a final answer of 16 minus 8 root 2. So we know that x squared now equals 16 minus 8 root 2. How are we going to find PT? Well, again, we can use our Pythagoras. So we know our line at the bottom here is A, or x root 2, and our line at the side here is going to be our 2x plus x root 2. So we can say that PT squared equals 2x plus x root 2 squared plus x root 2 squared. So let's expand these brackets out. That gives us 4x squared plus 4x squared root 2 plus 2x plus another 2x. We can group all of our x squareds together to get 8x squared plus 4x squared root 2. We can then take out our x squared to get x squared times 8 plus 4 root 2, and then we can substitute in our x squared here. So we're going to times these two brackets together, so times each term by the other one, and that gives us our 128, so 16 times 8, minus 64 root 2, 8 times 8 root 2, plus another 64 root 2, minus 64. And again, we can group our terms together, cancel this out to give us an answer of 64. So pt squared equals 64. That must mean pt equals 8. So our final answer is answer A.